Hello everyone, how are you all doing? This is Yix here at Magnum Crypto back again with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be covering some news, very interesting news articles and a few coins to break down. So stick around and let's get this show on the road. So let's kick this video off with the big milestone, and that is the crypto market has reached a valuation of $2 trillion. Now, this was expected from everyone that was in this space. It was only a matter of time. But the fact that we've reached 2 trillion so early on, and it's just we're getting close to halfway into this cycle. I posted a Instagram post saying that we're in the end game now, and that's because we're getting close to the halfway point. But the fact that we've reached $2 trillion at this point in the market leads me to believe definitely we're going to hit 3 trillion. But also there is a chance that we'll get close to 5 trillion. I think 10 trillion is too far out. It's not impossible, but I think it's too far out. But we can definitely double from this point on. I think Bitcoin has reached 60,000. It can easily reach 100,000 plus. Same with Ethereum, it's reached $2,000. It can reach 4,000, 5,000, and the rest of the market in general can definitely inflate from this point on. So very important milestone, fantastic to see, and obviously congrats to everyone who's been in the space making profits from the increase in valuation. So this article is just talking about this massive milestone. The likes of MicroStrategy adding another $15 million in Bitcoin, and we're going to see more and more companies adding their funds, potentially more, old money, as they say, old money. When you've got likes of funds and university funds are looking to invest in Bitcoin. Also, I didn't pull up the article, but Venezuela, they decided to change their national currency to Bitcoin. So we're going to see more articles like this, more news like this coming out in due time. And more capital is going to start entering the space, continue to enter the space. Moving on to the next article, we have NFTs. Now, for those of us who have been around in the space or just been investing in different markets, you can see a bubble from a mile away. And this NFT bubble was definitely such extreme hype when you've got NFTs selling for $69 million and other in the multiple millions of dollars being sold. Of course, it reeks of a bubble. Now, it doesn't mean that it's finished. From what we can see, as you can see, 70% decline last month. It doesn't mean that it's going to go down to zero. It can still continue to gain traction. I think it is here to stay. It's just that the hype cycle is probably going to subside further. It may pump again at some point later this year, but it probably will not reach these kind of levels once again for a short while. So let's read into this article. From pixelated paintings and tokenized tweets to true masterpieces that take years of hard work to complete, it seems that the hype for NFTs is fading away after a significant initial hype. Data from nonfungible.com shows that the average price of these tokens have declined 70% from all-time highs in February. Currently, the average price for NFT on the market is approximately 1.4k, when just a month ago it was averaging 4.3k. So you can see in this graph that it spiked massively, but it's slowly decreasing. I think we could have some more spikes going forward. You could have new artists entering the space. You could have big brands entering the space saying we're going to do NFTs. I say to my mates, what if Louis Vuitton or these designer brands decide to jump on this and create some NFTs? That could definitely increase the hype once again. But it's gonna have these kind of hype cycles before it becomes a mainstay, before NFTs is just part of the norm now. But to be honest, this hype cycle has definitely done that. I think, especially when you look at the likes of TikToks, everyone knows what an NFT is at this moment in time. So it's done its job. I think now the space is going to slowly grow further and further. So while the data is irrefutable, interpretations always have some degree of flexibility. This is quite interesting. NFTs have undoubtedly achieved amazing revelations since the launch of ERC 721 standard. However, attempting to stereotype them all as the same group for a given statistic can be difficult and perhaps impossible. So they're differentiating maybe the likes of the Beeple $69 million NFTs towards more smaller NFTs by some local artists that are not quite known. So the market is quite broad. So perhaps the massive multi-million-dollar sales are just outliers. So maybe the market is actually doing quite well and it's not declining as we are seeing in this article. Moving over to the next article. So as mentioned, regarding the market cap milestone, and I think it was Venezuela, or it might have been Bolivia, but that country changing their national currency to Bitcoin. Now you have Sacramento Kings to offer Bitcoin salary options to all players. This is what I'm talking about. That's going to increase further, suck in more capital to the Bitcoin and crypto space. When you have things like this happening, of course, an NBA team, their salaries are in the multi-million. So when you have potentially more companies giving their salaries in Bitcoin and increasing the use case for Bitcoin, you're going to have the market cap increasing further and further. Now, the owner of the Sacramento Kings was supposedly very pro-crypto. So maybe that this isn't much of a surprise. However, it's still very bullish and it increases the use case for Bitcoin and the market. Last but not least for crypto news is the IPO of Coinbase that is happening on the 14th of April. Probably the biggest event in crypto, I would say, this year, because this is the true maturation of a crypto company from, you know, just a little kid on the block to actually, you know, becoming a full-grown adult, and that's it going public. You know, actually selling shares on the stock exchange. So this is happening on the 14th of April, and they'll be doing it through a direct listing, just like Spotify, Slack, and Asana. I don't know what that company is. So instead of hiring a bank to broker the IPO, this means existing investors can sell their shares to new investors. The crypto exchange will disclose the reference trading price the night before its listing on the stock exchange. Initially, the company, or before we go into that second paragraph, what this does is it legitimizes crypto even further. Not that it needs that at this current moment in time, but it takes it to the step further, becoming public, a company on the stock exchange. They can start to see how profitable crypto is, and then it's going to provide a vehicle for a lot of investors to invest in a crypto company, because it will be public. Then they may not want to invest in crypto themselves, but they can invest in a company that is listed on the stock exchange. So that's very, very, very bullish. Again, it's going to provide further path for these more professional investors, old money funds, to put their money into the crypto space. So it's a vehicle for them to pump their funds into crypto. And of course, this is going to start a trend. Brad Garlinghouse said this, I think last year. He said more companies in the crypto space are going to start going public. Probably Ripple will start going public soon. They said that. Binance, who knows, maybe they'll join. Kraken, I think they've already hinted that they will go public. So the whole space in general is becoming more legitimate. So the valuation of 2 trillion will be smashed very soon. 4 trillion, 5 trillion. It's going to start catching up to the S&P 500, to the Dow Jones, and all these official markets. What we've been talking about for many years, the crypto space becoming a legitimate market, is becoming a reality. and this is what we're seeing happening in front of our eyes. So now, initially the company aimed to go public in March, but had to postpone its plans as it was undergoing an SEC review. Coinbase also reached a $6.5 million settlement with the CFTC, where it was facing accusations of reporting false information about some transactions. That is very interesting. Probably not surprising. They were up to some dubious activity. The fact that they've had to pay a settlement does either they wanted to just wrap it up quickly, or there was actually some naughtiness happening there. Not surprising, because there was no regulation in the crypto space for a long time, so there was room for these companies to maybe do some naughtiness. Moving on and finishing this, Bloomberg noted last week, according to figures from Nasdaq's private market trading, Coinbase was valued at $90 billion. Quite a large valuation. Very interesting. Again, it puts a value on some of the companies in the crypto space, like Binance. Could that be less or more than 90 billion? Perhaps more. But it puts a number on some of the companies within crypto space and how much money you can make if you start a company in crypto and do it well. So now we've got that out of the way. Let's have a quick look at some of the altcoins. XRP is absolutely smashing it. I was actually gutted that I didn't enter another trade, because I was looking at this for a while, and I've just lost faith in XRP when it comes to TA. But it clearly was forming a head and shoulders pattern, and you can actually measure this move quite well from the neckline to the bottom. And if you pop that there, it takes you to about 95 cents. I saw this, but as I said, because XRP doesn't really follow TA too much, I thought, nah, this is probably not gonna happen. But there you go, it's smashed through that, and it's just crossed the $1 mark. What I said in my private Telegram group, link for that is in the description, is there isn't much resistance between this and the next high resistance at $2.75. So if it is able to stay above $1, then it could easily rocket all the way up to $2.75 in the next few weeks or next month. That's definitely a possibility, but I would probably say it's more likely that it will start to retrace towards 85, 81 cents, towards 77, 78 cents, and then 60, around 60 cents. I would say that's probably the next major support levels. But we'll see. XRP likes to go in massive bursts. It doesn't really go short. It doesn't really do small movements. It does massive bursts. So let's see where it ends up. Let's have a quick look at Link. Link is looking quite interesting. Now, it was looking like a bit of a reversal, a head and shoulders. You can see the left shoulder, the head, and a bit of a wide right shoulder. Now, if it crossed below this, then that would have confirmed this reversal pattern and it would have had further downside. However, it has chosen to not follow this and go to the upside. It's gone past a daily resistance of $30, and it's just above that. If it manages to carry on and get past the previous high or properly test it, then it may go back into price discovery. On the daily time frame, it doesn't look like a head or shoulders. It looks more like a double bottom. Let's see if we can show that clearer. So you can see the W shape right here. So it looks more like a double bottom here. So if it can get past this level of $33 and then potentially retest it, then it's definitely in price discovery, and we're going to start firing past or rallying towards $45 and $50. So let's see what it wants to do. Ocean Protocol is looking pretty good. Now, I drew this broadening wedge pattern maybe a week ago, and so far it's following it quite well. It's looking bullish, like it wants to test the upper trend line at 170. On the weekly, it looks very, very close to smashing past the previous high of 160. If it does, you can clearly see once it gets past this resistance, then it's all clear to head towards 181 and then $2. So you just got to be patient with this. It's looking bullish, especially with this massive wick. A lot of demand for ocean at the moment, so it just needs to get past this and then it will start flying. Sushi, I mentioned in the last breakdown that it was looking kind of bearish with this, especially with this candle over here. It's showing some sign of reversal, which is very good to see. But of course, we need to see further move to the upside, potentially testing $17. If it can test this and break past, then I'll be bullish. Otherwise, if it can stay above $15 and potentially consolidate and start to create a bottom, then I would start to become a bit more bullish with Sushi. And of course, long term, I'm very bullish on it, but I want to see a nice bottom being created here. Otherwise, it will break through and potentially go further down towards $13, $12, and $11. So it's showing some signs of life, which is good, but we need to see more. Same with ING. Now, I was a bit bearish, in the last breakdown because there was a massive rejection from this level. But at the moment, it's showing signs of life, which is very encouraging. It's looking to test that previous high $15. What I would want to see is potentially rejection, and then to find some support halfway in between these two levels, and for it then to smash past $15. So we need to see some consolidation, a rejection, either a breakthrough, a rejection, and potentially some support halfway in between the lower range and the upper range. So it's good to see some life right there. Now let's have a quick look at KAVA. KAVA is looking very nice. I'm very, very happy with this investment. It's been smashing past targets, and now it's getting close to that 618 of $8.22. For me, I've taken a little bit of profit off the table now because it's getting to that level. We may see a rejection and then maybe for it to find support. So I've taken some profit. Another crypto that I've taken some profit is Polkadot. Now I think it's probably going to smash through $45 very soon. That's just how it's looking like after this big move. But as I've said, I'm sticking to my strategy. I took a little bit of profit at $45, $46. I didn't take 20%, I took 10%. But this is part of my plan. I want to just keep taking profit the more it gets closer to these targets. So that's just me revealing some of my profit taking strategy. But I'll do a proper video on this later this week or potentially next week. So that'll be it for this video. Hope you got some value from that, and see you in the next one. Peace.